So there's another 13 reasons. And I had made a video last year about it. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I'm alright if, like people saw it as entertainment in some sort. I just felt like the message kind of failed at what it was trying to do. But, after I released that video, I apologize. I was clearly just trying to go off of the hate train with it, which is really easy. I extended it to be 13 reasons, to do something like the show was stretching out 13 episodes for a short book. But I realized that the message probably went over my head. That message that the show, with the tapes, that the filmmakers, that the narrative, the actors were all pushing, which was you need to be careful with how you treat other people. You need to be careful with with what you say to other people because it will really affect who they are. Yep, nah, I still don't like it. If anything, it was almost like an experiment, right? To release that video and then see the people who were very big on, no, I'm gonna defend this show that's all about, be careful, go kill yourself. If you're gonna send me the tape, send me the SoundCloud link instead. I ain't dealing, give me an MP3. Now, I know with some sensitive subjects, like this one right here, people are very quick to forget that it's a fictional story. They'll start blending fiction with it being like a documentary or something. They're quick to say that if you haven't gone through it, then you should just be quiet. And I'm not one to dismiss, if you've gone through something like that, if you know someone who's gone through something like that, then that is definitely valid. Maybe you also do know someone who, was truly depressed and suicidal, yet was also a bully and confident enough to create a 13 tape narrative with a voice better than a podcaster.
Get a snack, settle in. Because I'm about to tell you the story of my life. I'm not saying which tape brings you into the story, but fear not. If you receive this lovely little box, your name will pop up.
Maybe this isn't just a poorly written character, you know someone like this, and hopefully you helped them out, and you didn't get welcome to your own tape. But, if you're looking at Season 1, for those who didn't see Season 1, which was the story of this girl who created these 13 tapes, when you really look at the fact that if it wasn't for a suicide, then you wouldn't have a TV show, you wouldn't have that drama. When you think about that, it's the actual filmmakers who have come out in interviews, the producers who have said, we made this show for awareness to stop those people who may be considering it. Imagine someone who was actually suicidal, watching the first season, wondering, contemplating whether they should do it. Then they see how successful it is. About a girl who created 13 episodes that entertained people enough to get 2 seasons that they binged. And I don't have a problem with Hannah killing herself, the characters, fictional being. I don't have a problem with that because, it's TV, it's movies. I don't believe that art can be distasteful, but I don't think it should ever be censored. And I think that there are a bunch of movies that cover very delicate subjects, but they really get to the heart of the matter. And the majority of these, they're not telling you how to feel or telling you that they're correct. They're just telling a story. The problem with 13 Reasons Why is that it's telling you straightforward what you should think. That to me is the main thing that separates it from every other CW show out there. I don't watch Riverdale and shows like Riverdale. Maybe they're dumb fun, maybe it does worse things out there, but at least Riverdale isn't pretending to be socially woke. This one does, and thus you get a lot of fans who are quick to ignore and dismiss anyone who doesn't like the show for its writing and are quick to say that they're just like pro-suicide. We don't play that here. In my opinion, there is a difference between, saying you want something and then actually doing the other thing, right? So if you want to have that moral high ground, you're gonna end up being like that pastor who calls out everyone and grills them, and he's got a lot of skeletons in his closet. Take, for example, the first season. Hannah blames everyone else for her suicide. She records 13 tapes. For the most part, the show kind of ignores the fact that her actions weren't too different. They were very similar to what she was blaming others for, but the show just goes along with it. Am I saying that words don't matter? Absolutely not. Do not be a Pusha T to the people around you. I know people will ignore that bit just like they did in the first time, but what I'm saying is that you also can't blame everybody else for everything. It's not that it's undermining bullying and actual trauma, it's just the fact that this girl wrote a tape for someone who all they did was take a poem from them. She wrote a tape because a dude didn't stay and read her mind when she was yelling at him to leave. My man was consenting. That's what he was told to do. Now how is he supposed to argue with a dead girl? Now the character of Hannah can do all of those things. She's a fictional character. She's a TV character. She can be flawed. The show pretending that she's perfect is another thing. The show thinking that they can use don't blame the victim as an excuse. only makes it worse for the people who actually get blamed for being a victim. This leads me to the Jessica and rape storyline that happens throughout season 2 with the scumbag that is Bryce. One of the things that season 2 still does is that it blames everyone else for not reading Hannah's mind. They should have gone like an extra step ahead or something. There's one scene with the counselor where Hannah does say something happened to her, but the writer of this show decided that she just wouldn't say a name after the counselor's asking for it. Of course, I'm not denying that it isn't difficult to be in this position. It's embarrassing. She's hurt. But the writer already wrote her going to the counselor and telling him something happened. It just kind of feels like the writer is manipulating the sexual abuse storyline and omitting her from saying a name just so you can milk more episodes. It's crazy because just like there's that whole thing about, the people who want to silence those who are hurt, that's a whole problem that happens. I wish the show also helped those who were hurt to not be silent, to promote them speaking out. It does the complete opposite. See, there's an episode where these dudes right here, they have legit evidence of a girl having been raped. I don't know why it's in a Polaroid while they're still dealing with like analog tapes and stuff, but they have it in the bag. And then Jessica, who, need I remind you, also got raped, comes in and takes the evidence because it's not their story to tell. Ma'am, I look, I get it that it's a difficult position to be in, but if you're creating a show that's supposed to, this is one of the main female leads. You know that people are going to be attracted to her. They're going to want to, be kind of like her. Why would you have it be a character who's telling girls to don't say a name? I'm just recalling back that there is an episode in this show where Bryce, her own rapist, asks her if she wants to chill, and she literally just goes, whatever.
Wait up.
Hey.
Hey. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, how you doing? Okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good.
Good. Yeah, let's grab a drink sometime. Catch up.
Whatever.
Ma'am! This dude, Bryce, also gets away with all of it by the end. No charges, no nothing. You can see that as a reflection of things that happen in real life, sure, but the show is still creating half-baked characters who allow that to happen. But probably the biggest thing to end it off, something that they had in the last season, a little cliffhanger from season 1 leading to season 2, which was alluding to a school shooting. That's what they used as a cliffhanger. Now, I had a lot of people who had called me out. They're like, you're sick. Why would you even think that? Why would we want... Hey, look, I ain't mad, Pet. My theories do come true, and that is exactly what they do in season 2. But even in a worse way possible, right? One thing is to be to get people excited for a season 2 premiere because of a school shooting that's going to happen, but it's how they dealt with it. Now, let me just be positive for 1 second, right? Because I can't do that. And even if I don't like something, I can still kind of see the good in it. I get why it's entertaining, and I also get that while the show doesn't do it for me and many others, at least it does start the conversation as it wanted to start, right? Maybe here in this discussion, I've seen other great articles and videos of people who have talked about it, so even if the show doesn't do it, at least it creates that. If season 1 was all about Clay not being able to pick up the clues and be able to stop Hannah from committing suicide, at least in season 2, he was able to do something and stop Tyler, the creator of destruction, from shooting up the school.
Tyler, listen to me. You don't get out of this alive. And I don't want you to die. If you think this is the way, if you really think this will change a goddamn thing and not just be another fucking tragedy that adults cry about for a week and then forget, if you really think that this is gonna be different, then do what you gotta do.
And while that's great, and I'm not going to ignore that, that's something that the show does very well. Whoever wrote this show is utterly disgusting. There's a thing in movies and TV shows called foreshadowing. You can see that in How I Met Your Mother. There's a bunch of moments where it's like, oh man, he almost saw the mother. There's the yellow umbrella. It's things that happen in a bunch of movies where you foreshadow something that the audience goes, oh, I see that. That's coming. Oh, it got me. They do that with the shooting. Here, there's a bunch of things where the kid starts, he gets a gun and you're like, oh no, he's gonna, we got you. He wasn't gonna shoot the kids. He just went for target practice.
Shoot me.
What?
Shoot me in the locker that won't open.
That is graphic. Oh, I don't know if I approve of this game. Let's go again.
Oh, fuck, Tim. No, keep going.
Hey, what you guys doing?
Jesus. Hey, get out! we do now? Have you ever shot a gun before? We got Marcus. We're about to destroy Ryan. I figure we start thinking bigger. We're gonna wait for Dart, take the service road, and we're gonna rush the stuff in, and boom.
Me and Tyler, we don't have the power. We get shit on, pushed around. Now you're one of us too, dude. But we're gonna take some of that power back tonight, me and Tyler.
What are you talking about?
Don't tell him.
Tell me what?
Means he's got plenty of reasons to fuck shit up just like us. It's not like we couldn't use the help.
What are you guys even talking about?
It does look like it hurts, man.
Dude!
Fuck yes!
Yeah.
You're good at this.
Yeah,
Sirs, like, you gotta think about the mindset that they had. They allowed this in the writing room, that a school shooting, that was the thing that they were going to use in their scripts as being the foreshadowing, the way that they were going to manipulate the audience. What? That shows you a lot about their mindset. Especially when you remember what happened that Friday when this show was premiered. Now, all of this is to say that I don't care if a show is bad writing. It's a show. If it handles a message poorly, whatever. It's when it pretends to have this moral high ground that I think that's an issue. When it starts convincing actual young people to think that this is a route to go, and unbeknownst to them, actually causes them to do the complete opposite. It's when you realize that this show actually approached a psychologist to ask for advice, and when the psychologist advised Netflix to not release the show to begin with, Netflix said, no, we can't do that. And that's the biggest reason why not. Thank you guys for checking out this show. Remember, if you like it, logically, you cannot yell at me because you're defending a show that says you need to watch it. I'm just kidding. You can say whatever you want. Honestly, any comments help boost the video, so I appreciate you if you comment, like, share, yell, whatever you do, report it. Shout out to the patrons also who help out monthly for just $1. I appreciate you guys. We've been doing some Google Hangouts over there, and it's been pretty fun, but I want you guys to know that it doesn't just support this show. You know, the A to Z show likes to look at movies and TV, music, see what we can learn out of it, even if it's bad, right? Like 13 Reasons Why, to start a discussion. But I also have 2 other channels. The Let Me Explain channel is kind of like my movie commentary diary over there. That one's way less serious, all jokes. Definitely check that out. Some people prefer it to the A to Z show, but I also got the new music channel coming out, right? Sometimes people don't want to know what you can learn from an album. They just want to know the best bars. They just want to know the next banger. So you can definitely go check those out. You can support all 3 for just $1 over on Patreon. And if you do, I'll send you your own tape.